Our next author is Dr. Josef Arnould, author of American Diet Revolution, The Strength for Life Guide to the Foods We Must and Must Not Eat to be Leaner, Stronger in the 21st Century. And Dr. Josef Arnould reveals surprising foods which lead to robust health, cause obesity and illness, and foods Americans buy, and where they buy them are powerful economic weapons with which they can cause great change in local, national, and global communities. Joseph, thank you so much for being here today.
My pleasure. Nice to be here.
What compelled you to write The American Diet Revolution?
Well, for the last 35 years in my chiropractic practice, I've been taking weekly diaries of virtually every patient in my clinic, which is entitled the Strength for Life Health and Fitness Center. And what I discovered was that most people were very confused about what types of foods they should be eating. That if I had one word to characterize their understanding of nutrition and weight loss, it was confusion. In the meantime, I was also writing another book entitled Abdominal Strength for Life, and I wanted to put a 20-page nutritional chapter in about nutrition and weight loss. But in order to do that, I felt like I had to update my research. So I spent about 2 years reading new literature and updating my own information. And as I did so, I just became so angry because I understood not only why people were confused, but there was some deliberate misinformation promulgated during the last half of the 20th century, which was the cause of that confusion and the cause of the obesity and diabetes crises. So then I started to write the book, and as I started to write the book, I became more and more outraged. It was no longer just an informational book about how to eat intelligently, how to eat for better health. It became a revolution against the misinformation of the 20th century. Fortunately, in the 21st century, there's a whole host of very knowledgeable and honest researchers who've been writing about what we should do as individuals to eat and improve our health. But most of those writers kind of emphasized on what to do, but they didn't tell us exactly why to do it. And they weren't really as socially involved as I think that we should be. So when I wrote American Diet Revolution, I wanted to instigate a revolution. I want to take a trend, which many of us feel now, to eating better and make it a revolution. In other words, take the 20% or 25% of us who are eating better today and make that 80 or 85%. And that's what I mean by an American Diet Revolution.
Great. So how is American Diet Revolution distinct from all the other recent books on nutrition?
Well, I think two things. One is I try to give people a socioeconomic perspective on things. In other words, it's not just what we're eating, it's what we're thinking about what we're eating. We cannot just follow blindly, as we did in the last century, the advice we're given. We have to question everything. So in other words, instead of being passive acceptors of information, we have to become active questioners of everything we read. And then in the book I say, question what I'm writing too. Don't accept what I say face value.
And what are the most important concepts that you hope readers are going to take away from American Diet Revolution?
Well, first of all, I hope that they're outraged. When they realize how badly we were misinformed in the 20th century, they're going to be excited and want to do something about it. We cannot just sit back and say, oh, what I want to do is good for me. We have to realize that the foods we buy and purchase in stores, the foods we eat, not only affect our health and the health of our families, but the health of our local communities, and by extension, the health of our nation. We live in the nation with the greatest wealth in the history of humankind, but we have an health insurance crisis. Now, that health insurance crisis exists because we have a health crisis. 2/3 of our population of adults is either obese or significantly overweight. No nation in the world will ever be able to afford health insurance for everybody unless we improve those statistics. And I think if we make a revolution in the way we eat and the way we think about what we eat, then we can start to make some fundamental changes in our society.
And Dr. Arnold, for those who want to join that revolution and those at home, how can they get in touch with you?
Well, I think the best way is to go to my website, which is strengthforlife.com, and on the contact page, my personal and clinical email is right there, and they can reach me that way.
Gotcha. Well, congratulations on the book. Thank you so much for your time today.
My pleasure.
Thank you.